the photo of the year has a magical quality to it, and I believe that it brings to mind so many issues of the day in the most subtle and poetic way, that it will produce a new language in order to illustrate stories that matter in the world. The idea of migration and globalization is incorporated in this either mythology or in the reality that we want to believe. Looking out over a water and imagining that something is drawing you to light and to a better life, or that you long, in some kind of conceptual way to transcend, is what draw us, all of us, to this image. This story of domestic violence in America, I could not ignore this story. We know that the concept and the issues around gender violence are very big in Asia, in Africa. But to have one also set in America, and this one, which is particularly powerful, it was not a hard sell for me. The photographer had tremendous access. When a photographer gets very close to his or her subject matter and arrives at an intimacy that translates the story in the most moving way possible, it doesn't fail to hit home. And this story did this in its entirety with great success. This image of the man who has been condemned to be hung because he stole something that was worth $20 is an extraordinary image in that it has such resonance because of the concept of a man who's condemned to be hung being comforted by his executioner. He's probably about 18, 19 years old, and he's about to die. And the only man that he can cling to is the very man who's going to put him on the gallows. His friend next to him has a look of terror on his face, and I can't imagine, but I know when you've been in such great shock that your body crumples, and that's what it looks like. The idea of this man being cut short in terms of his life is just, it's so tragic that we couldn't ignore this image, really. It's chilling. I loved the mother and son story for the simple fact that I think mothers and sons always have a special relationship, and be it conflicted or be it difficult, this is portrayed with a sensitivity, and the fact that these are bodybuilders and the mothers, in a sense, there's whether the sons are clothed or unclothed and the mothers are in their hijabs or not, there is such tenderness and such vulnerability and such beauty in these images, the way they're constructed, the composition, the lighting is wonderful, and the way they've been placed in the frame and the backgrounds that have been chosen, that I couldn't not be drawn by this story, which just, it's the kind of story I would have loved to have done, and I think it's been beautifully realized.